YouTube! ¿Qué pasa? Welcome back to another Street Fighter Duel video. So, today I do want to go a bit on an in-depth tour about Fashion Blanka. And I mean, when he first dropped, he was available to be seen, but no one had him and no one was able to play with him, like apart from obviously the testing, right? And I think this character is one of the most underrated characters right now, and he's probably under the radar of a lot of people. Like, if you got this character built, and let me say this right? If you got this character built up, use him in combination with Beast Zangief, Elena as support and healer, and preferably Bison, right? You're looking at the best team, or currently probably the best team in the game right now. Like, that team would most likely get you up to the chapter 30s easily, if right built, right? And yeah, that's basically why Fashion Blanka is under the radar, because a lot of people think of him as just another tank. However, he is going to be the main damage dealer of that team. But let's closely look at his character. I mean, obviously you got certain links. Having Elena at SSS gives him an attack bonus and crit resilience plus 1.5%. So having a built E Honda is also going to be very useful for this character, since it boosts his HP and crit resilience even further. A built Adon is also valuable, and obviously Fashion Sakura. I'm sadly missing Fashion Sakura. She's actually one character I would still like to get. But yeah, maybe I'll get her sooner or later. But that's basically the bonds which you need for Fashion Blanka. Now, Fashion Blanka has some interesting feature, which is basically he's a legendary character, and he has this bind function. If you bind, or it says here, when a legendary fighter establishes synergy with a fighter from another faction, they will obtain the same grade level as the bound fighter, right? So what I did is I basically linked him to my Mad Ryu. Mad Ryu is SSS with 1 star at level 220, and instantly my Fashion Blanka got the same level and same grade, which is awesome, because now I could like start continuing getting dupes for my Mad Ryu, and if I build him up, my Fashion Blanka is going to be built up too, which is very, very nice. So he's a very free-to-play friendly character in that regard. Especially for those people that have just started the game. If you have a strong character already, you could link him with Fashion Blanka, and that's it. And mostly everyone should get him free to play, because he is just he's being acquired through the logins. So I'm not sure if that event is up anymore, but anyone who has him has definitely gotten himself one of the best characters in the game right now. So his ring, his fighting spirit is basically a skill called Raging Wildfire. It basically does, when allies take flame damage, 15% chance to receive ×1 wildfire, trigger interval 3 seconds, right? So this skill basically takes effect when a fighter is in assist position. When the assisted fighter deals flame damage, 12% chance to receive 1 times attack up, equal to 8% of Fashion Blanka's attack for 12 seconds. Stacks up to 4 times. When taking flame damage, 12% chance to receive 1 times defense up, equal to 8% Fashion Blanka's defense for 12 seconds. And it has a further stage as well. So this basically is a boost skill for him. If he takes flame damage, he receives increased attack and increased defense on top. Right, so let's look at the fighting souls. I mean, there is a few fighting souls you could choose or opt to give him, depending on what you're using him for. I'm using him actually as my main damage dealing unit, since he does great AOE damage, and we're going to look at the skills in a second, right? He increases with the martial fighting soul the damage by 4% every 15% of HP the target misses, and at further stages 12%, and so forth. So that is definitely one of the better fighting souls for him. You could also opt to go with the broken formation. However, it only procs if the target HP is higher than 80%, right? So I prefer the Martial Soul over that. Echo, yeah, wouldn't be too bad for him if you're going to be using him as an actual tank. Shelter is also something you can go to. And the other fighting souls I'm not owning yet, so I can't really say much about them. But I would generally go with Martial if you're like a player just starting off and you got Blanka, Fashion Blanka. Martial is the way to go with him, definitely. Right, let's look at some of his skills and let's see what he can actually do. Right, his first one, or shall we start with now? We start with the first one, right? We're gonna go one by one. Right, his first skill is basically Jungle Wildfire. When he is basically the main, the first character in a combo, then he spews Raging Flames that strike enemies in a large area 6 times, dealing flame damage equal to 473% of attack. Each attack has a 20% base chance to inflict times 1 burn. Then, at level 2 or at level 3, increases the damage to 520%. And the burn by 25% has a higher chance. And the fighter has a chance to receive Wildfire. Wildfire is basically when dealing damage, 35% chance to remove 1 Wildfire and deals additional flame damage on top. So what he basically does, he is a huge AOE attacker. Even though he's a tank, he is a huge AOE attacker. And he basically shoots these flames at the entire enemy squad, enemy team, and deals a lot of damage, has a high chance to inflict burn. Really awesome character in connection with the amazing, insane speed of Beast Zangief, the survivability of Bison, and the support of Elena. Basically an unbeatable character, really. Let's look at his passive, right? He gains 1 Wildfire every 6 seconds after the battle begins. What the Wildfire does basically in this case, again, when dealing damage, 35% chance to remove times 1 Wildfire and deals additional flame damage equal to 310% of attack, stacks up to 12 times. So him just being on the field, right, gives him this Wildfire every second. So the longer the fight goes, the more damage he will be dealing over time if he's the main attacker in the squad, since he will be dishing out a lot of damage. If you got him on the first spot of the combo, he does the skill called Scorched Power, which is a single attack. Not really the way to go with him. Actually, having him in number 1 in the combo is rather counterproductive for him. Basically, what this skill does is charges up Ashen Power. If Fashion Blanka is attacked while charging, the attacker takes flame damage equal to 80% of Fashion Blanka's attack. Once fully charged, flames shoot at the farthest enemy, dealing flame damage equal to 480%. So what it does basically is you could use Fashion Blanka in combination with June and Ken maybe to try, or even Viper with her first, no, was it the first? No, it's the second combo actually, in order to attack the back row. Since Fashion Blanka's skill attacks the back row, the farthest character, and so does SS Viper. So in that combination, it would work very well as well. There are some other ways of putting it down, but in the way I'm using this character, it's not going to be much helpful. But either way, a good skill depending on how you use him. Right, and last but not least, it's got the Spinball Smash. Basically, Blanka becomes a ball of blazing fire. And yeah, he swiftly shoots through the enemy ranks, dealing flame damage equal to 266% of attack to enemies in a large area. He leaves a trail of fire in his wake that lasts 4 seconds and which deals flame damage. So basically, the combo I'm using is, right, I got Blanka as main attacker. So he does his super attack, which you've just seen, the animation. That's how it basically looks. And he's also the second in line to attack. Basically rolls once through the enemies, deals damage and burns them as well, which deals further damage. And my last character in the combo is usually Bison, and the first one in the combo is usually Elena with her healing capabilities. And that is the skill set of Blanka. I mean, this character is really nuts. He got me basically Currently I'm on stage 2210, I think. And yeah, that's all due to Blanka. I mean, I got up until stage 16 with Mad Rio. He carried me until stage 16, but then I switched things around as soon as I got my first Bison free from Divination, and I started finding this team, which is basically just an insane team. So in case you're wondering how to build this team, let me quickly show you. Right, you go ahead. Oh, I'm at 2216 actually, okay. 4 I was 10. Right, and that is basically the team right there. Right, let's quickly close this. So this team is the one I'm using. So up front, Bison, obviously unkillable so long someone survives. Next up, sort of my semi-tank, speed, fast, sort of damaging unit, Beast Zangief, crazy character, triple S as well. Need more copies though, since he doesn't have any stars at the moment. And then my Fashion Blanka, and last but not least Elena. Fashion Blanka got Chun-Li, but you could switch around and give him a poison, or what's her name, Kami as well. That is also a chance to do. For Fashion, for Bison, I did give him Monster Hunter Ken. You could also go with Jury, since Jury would also give him a good boost. Depends on how you want to play and how your play style is. You could also opt in to give Chun-Li to Beast Zangief. That would also be an option. However, the way I'm using this right now works very well. This is the combo I'm highly suggesting with Fashion Blanka. And as for your super moves, yeah, I'm currently running this setup, but I may change around as well in the future. May have to see if I get a few more moves out there. But yeah, this is basically Fashion Blanka. Definitely, if you got your hands on him, definitely build him up, use him, link into your strongest character. And yes, by the way, if you're asking if you can unlink it, yes, you can unlink it anytime. It just costs 100 orbs or 100 diamonds in order to unlink it, and then you're able to basically choose another character in case you got another stronger one. And that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash the like button. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time.